Kamala Harris refuses to say these following names: Sergeant Johnny Rosario Pichardo, Sergeant Nicole L. Gee, Staff Sergeant Darren T. Hoover, Corporal Hunter Lopez, Corporal Dagan Page, Corporal Humberto Sanchez, Lance Corporal David Espinoza, Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz. You notice a lot of Hispanic patriots? She wants the Hispanic votes, but she won't even say their names. It's a disproportionately Hispanic list here of people that serve their country. God bless them. Lance Corporal Jared M. Schmitz, Lance Corporal Riley J. McCullum, Lance Corporal Dylan R. Marola, Lance Corporal Kareem M. Nikoy, Navy Corpsman Maxton W. Soviek, and Staff Sergeant Ryan C. Knowles, or Knowles. Do you know that Kamala Harris has never said those names, nor has Joe Biden? So they withdraw from Afghanistan and hand all the weapons over to the Taliban. And we saw that on full display. Make sure you play 174 here, just with a little bit of the noise in the background. They're celebrating as if this is a major Roman triumph. This country is in complete collapse. We're in collapse economically, at the border, and we can't take the Taliban with this. Do you know what should have happened here yesterday? If we would have found that they were doing some sort of military parade, we should have just drone striked it. So yeah, you're gonna go parade with our equipment. We spent 20 years there. If you guys are riding that equipment, then get the women and children out of the way. We're going to drone strike it. Why wouldn't we do that? Oh, because we do not have a presidency that cares. Listen to this. They're celebrating marching this equipment, the planes, the tanks, the cars, the military vehicles, the weapons, over $100 billion. So we are $35 trillion in debt, and then we withdraw from a country after 20 years after achieving nothing at the Bagram Air Base that we built, that we controlled, that we surrendered, that we basically retreated from, and then we have to watch back our equipment be thrown in our face in a humiliation ritual. This is what the Kamala Harris presidency will be for you. We lost 2,400 men and women in Afghanistan. The 13 that were lost unnecessarily need to be read here because they were completely ignored by Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. And this is just basically in your face. The Taliban is basically sending a message to all of our enemies, to the Chinese Communist Party, to North Korea, to Iran. Look at this. America's a bunch of weak people. Kamala Harris doesn't know what she's doing. She's cackling her way trying to be president. And we do not have a current president, obviously. There's not a mention of this from the White House. They've never had to explain the fact that we abandoned all this equipment. We could have destroyed the equipment on the way out. You know that Donald Trump had a Afghan withdrawal plan, and he said, at the very least, we're going to destroy all the equipment on the way out. We're not going to allow them to just parade it. And yes, you're going to, waste $100 billion, but that's a rounding error, unfortunately. But at the same time, at least it's not going to be paraded around, given to your enemies, and potentially used against you. You know that this will now be sold to arms smugglers, arms dealers, and potentially we are now going to have to fight our own equipment in the Middle East. At the bare minimum, heads should have rolled at the military for this. You know how many people were fired for this? None. Zero. Not a single person was fired because of the Afghanistan debacle. So think about it. Not a single person fired because of the Afghanistan debacle. Not a single person fired because of COVID. Not a single person fired after Trump got shot. Maybe the people running our military are not the best, but they want more power. They want the continuation of this regime. This was Joe Biden 3 years ago. Boy, he's really collapsed in the last 3 years. Play cut 175.
Now, granted, it took 2 days to take control of the airport. We have control of the airport now.
Still a lot of pandemonium outside the airport.
Well, there is, but look, but no one's being killed right now. God forgive me if I'm wrong about that, but no one's being killed right now. We got 1,000, somewhere 1,200 out yesterday, a couple thousand a day, and it's increasing. We're going to get those people out.
Boy, he's really collapsed last 3 years. And of course, 13 Marines died hours later. Has anyone in the America's government been fired for incompetence in the last 20 years? Does Kamala Harris plan to fire anybody for incompetence? Of course not. Has anyone at all at the State Department, the Department of Defense, the Central Intelligence Agency, the NSA, the National Security Agency, the FDA, the CDC, the Secret Service, the FBI, No. No, instead, they're often promoted. You fail upwards. That's the way it works. You ascend through your failure. You climb the ranks through your incompetency. And that is the Kamala Harris view of the world. And when you are going to make your vote and you're going this weekend to talk to swing voters and talk to Democrats, you should show them just the video I just showed here and say, watch this. Watch all of that equipment, our stuff, our blood and sacrifice of our fellow countrymen. And then it's just trolled and put on display in a slow motion humiliation ritual.